We know what happened to KD. We know the agenda Souls is going to push. But unfortunately, people think we've gone too far. Let's see.
The Nets lost in 4 games. Kevin Durant has officially been swept for the first time in his career. And of course, that means the slander has begun. So what's up, guys? Mike here. And listen to this by Charles Barkley and the rest of the TNT crew.
I try to tell y'all, all these bus riders, they don't mean nothing to me. If you ain't driving the bus, don't walk around and talk about you a champion. All these guys walk around with these championship rings. Hey, y'all bus riders.
Right.
If you ain't the bus rider, don't talk about these championships. These are fighting words.
The fighting words is crazy. You wanna know the worst part, chat? I can only disagree so much. How the casuals win, chat? How the casuals win, bro? The Kevin Durant ain't done it without go. How they winning, man?
How you left a team and go to a team with a 73-9? You do know they won 73 games, right?
Yo, it's the fact that they actually were right. And you wanna know the worst part of this, chat? I definitely was one of the people back then, so it's not switch up. That was like Curry better anyway. I believe Curry didn't have that dog shit game 3. We're not doing the Curry no finals MVP thing. So trust and believe, man. It hurt even different for me that I'm like, damn, God, we stripping him of those too now. Oh my God.
Not on the bus. Well, just not on the bus.
What has happened when he was driving the bus? What was happening when he was driving the bus?
Oh no.
Yeah, okay, he did.
As we just heard, Chuck said that in his career, Kevin Durant never drove the bus. That is to say, Chuck was making the claim that in his career, Kevin Durant might have championships, he might have this, he might have that, but he never was the guy driving the bus on an NBA Finals winning team. To this, KD, of course, had his own reply, but I have my own reply, and my own reply might surprise
that shit
a
was weak
few
sauce, I ain't
sure.
gonna lie.
Kevin Durant broke every rule of competition. I agree. He not only quit on his team to join the best team in the entire NBA, one that had just won 73 games, and then of course he also joined a team that had just beat him, a cardinal sin in sports. The thing is, in order to really dive into this video, we kind of have to look past that. You might still hate Kevin Durant's decision, and that is fine. To be honest, I don't really love it myself. But we have to look at this from a pure basketball standpoint, and from a pure basketball standpoint, without Kevin Durant on the Golden State Warriors, do they still win the 2017 and 2018 NBA
take the whole roster and
do they still advance to the 2019 NBA Finals? I mean, those are questions we also have to ask, right? Because Kevin Durant's decision to join Golden State did not just affect himself. It affected the legacies of a lot of players. And so now, let me say this. Why does no one ever talk about the fact, and I say fact, that without Kevin Durant, the Warriors very likely would not have won at least one of the next 2 championships they won?
Mike, wait. Do you know what a fact is? That's not a fact!
I know you didn't do that.
That's not a fact!
You ain't do him like that.
That's not a fact,
You ain't do him like that.
Wait. Let me run back that sentence, bro. What the fuck
That is not a fact. That is not a fact.
About the fact, and I say fact.
He said it twice, Sage. He said it twice, okay?
This is a fact, no printer, no cap.
Without Kevin Durant, the Warriors very likely would not have won at least one of the next 2 championships they won.
Mike, oh my God. A probability is not a fact. When you flip a coin, there's a probability that 50% of the time you get heads or tails. What? All right, bro.
It landed on heads last time, so it is a fact.
And
I mean fact. Did that bitch about to say?
Oh my God. Okay. Maybe it's the computer science in me that got triggered by that, but god damn.
While we have it paused, man, I guess let me dial it back down a bit. He's acting so stupid on purpose. I'm not saying he's dumb, because Mike Korzemba is an established content king, blah, blah, blah. But he's literally acting as if Kevin Durant going to Golden State had no sacrifice for Golden State. So to put the eyes on Golden State, well, if you don't win, if they wouldn't win without KD, that means he dropped. Bro, they nuked the whole roster for him. And in 2017, I didn't think they nuked it that bad. But yeah. I could look it up, but I don't feel like it. But like, nah, man, that'd be a main reason as to why. But I disagree with that.
I feel like there's also more evidence that they probably, at the very least, made it back to the finals without KD. Assuming, obviously,
100%.
The rest of the crew, they have more depth to replace KD. It's not just chop KD off and nothing happens.
Man, in 2019, maybe it's a dog shit take, maybe it's not. But I think 2019 showcased you that Golden Golden State without Kevin Durant could still get it done. For the majority of the playoffs, they didn't even have Kevin Durant. If you think they would lose in the first round because KD's not there, all right, that's your fact. But then the fact that they did Dame dirty, and Dame was one of the bigger competitions, the fact they made it past Houston again, and Houston didn't have the same fire that they did in 2018, to act like they didn't have a shot at winning the championship, considering Clay went out and Curry alone took them to game 6. I know Clay got hurt in like game 5, but still, Curry was solo squatting. Golden State has a shot of winning a championship, bro. The fact that you're saying it factually incorrect that they would is crazy.
A big statement, I will give you that, but this statement isn't coming from just anywhere. I would certainly argue that historically as a player, Kevin Durant has been one of the best playoff performers we have seen in this generation of basketball, and he might be number 2. Number 1, of course, being LeBron James. Now, what is my reasoning for this? Well, it's here where I want to talk about game score, a number that is made up of a player's entire box score performance. Points, rebounds, assists, turnovers, field goals missed and made, everything like that from a box score goes into game score. Here's how Basketball Reference defines it, if I didn't define it well. Game score was created by John Hollinger to give a rough measure of a player's productivity for a single game. The scale is similar to that of points scored. 40 is an outstanding performance, 10 is an average performance, etc.
Chat, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about the stat. If y'all want to give more context to the stats, its pros and its cons, go ahead, leave it in the comment section. I deadass want to know, because obviously with every stat, there's context to be had. The idea of using one stat to validate and kind of measure someone's game just for one game, I've never been a believer of that, just using one metric, but we'll see.
I hope he doesn't game score solo this entire playoff run. I hope he doesn't do that.
There's only been 57 games in NBA playoff history where a player has recorded a game score of over 40. So I'd say 40 is way more rare than they make it seem in this definition. But I will also say that 30 really is a great range to gauge who shines when the lights are the brightest. And it's also a good gauge to see who shrinks. Because to us as NBA fans, isn't that the most important thing? End of the day, we watch the regular season, but we know we're waiting for the playoffs. We're waiting for the balls to get rolled out. We're waiting for guys to go to war, and we're waiting to see who comes out on top. And so the players who are putting up the best playoff...
Yo, we're children. Roll out the balls. Who's on top? Hey, yo.
Go ahead, rub one out next time before you start recording. This is crazy.
That's probably us, to be all right.
Performances, and I find it very interesting that with the alpha dog of each of the most recent NBA Finals champions, I have found a pretty simple fact here, and that is that each of these players has at least 10 performances with a 30 game score or more in the playoffs throughout their careers. As you can see on the list in front of you, there are no exceptions, and again, LeBron is in his own galaxy over there, so I may have Michael Jordan as my personal GOAT, but remember, I never disrespect LeBron's greatness. This is insane. As we can also see, Kevin Durant is right there slotted in as number 2. And would you look at that, Kawhi Leonard. On this list, I would actually say Kawhi is the biggest surprise. I mean, man, if you look at that guy's regular season stats and then compare them to his playoff stats, you find something very simple, and that is he steps up possibly the most out of anyone. I mean, consider the fact that he has put up this many 30+ performances, and he's also missed plenty of playoff games with injuries. Definitely impressive, but in terms of NBA alpha dogs, which I'm considering Kevin Durant, and that is what I'm trying to convince you of right now, that KD is a playoff alpha dog, because when we look at playoff secondary players, when we look at the guys like Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Dwayne Wade, we find another constant theme. Unless you are an MVP level player yourself, cough Dwayne Wade cough, you have not put up 10 playoff games with at least a 30 game score. Again, unless you're Dwayne Wade, who is elite himself, who was the alpha dog on the 2006 NBA
almost like both teams are regarded as super teams.
On the secondary stars list, we find quite a range. Kyrie Irving is 3rd with 5. Anthony Davis is 2nd, and yes, 3 of his 6 did come in the bubble. But then we find Clay only has 1, Draymond only has 2, Middleton has 1, Drew Holiday has 0. I'm telling you, these 30+ games really are the mark of a true playoff star. Now you may be wondering,
I'm just kind of confused, Asian. You might be able to help me. So what's the point of bringing up the game score so far?
I'm not trying to be a dick. Look, y'all, I know how this shit go. You don't say something positive about YouTuber man, you're a YouTuber hater. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just being honest. I have no idea what is happening. Like, maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I don't understand game score. I thought I'd be like, all right, so his point is that KD can't be a number 2 because he's had the game score of number 1s. Maybe that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I understand he's not in that class of fucking Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, but in terms of proving a point of like what can he do without the Warriors, you know, his ability to be a playoff performer to the regards people are holding him to. I haven't really seen much. I mean, I guess I'm gonna just keep watching.
Out of guys who have not won an NBA championship, well, what does that list look like? And I find that list very interesting too, because on that list, James Harden is the one real anomaly. He's the one guy who has broken 10. Maybe that means he's the one guy who has really gotten the worst luck in his career. Or maybe that just means he knows how to fill the box score. I'm just providing the numbers here, but it's interesting. Russell Westbrook has not broken 10. Guys like Embiid and Jokic are also not there yet. Luka has 5 in 15 games. That is, I mean, potential GOAT status. We have to be on the lookout for that. And then as you see, guys who never ended up winning NBA championships, like Melo, at least as of now, Melo has under 5 games. I do want to point out Chris Paul is the ultimate aberration here at 13, but he is still fighting with the Phoenix Suns this playoff, so maybe we'll see here. So I really find power in this score of 30. I hope you do too at this point, because trust me guys, the more
I just want to see something. So for Chris Paul specifically, I just want to see exactly what a 30 game is. Cause I ain't gonna lie, if some of these great performances don't even have 30 game scores, then that's a really big flaw in that stat.
This is why I can't stand reliance of stats, bro. Especially on the stats that you don't know and you're not breaking down to a certain level, because now it's like we don't know what the fuck 29 game score looks like. We don't know. Yeah, basically, we don't know what the 29 game score looks like. So.
Like Chris Paul's last game, 33.5. The game before that, this is a 22-point game, 11 assists, 6 rebounds with 1 turnover, and that has a 23 game score. That's a really good game that doesn't have a 30 game score, bro.
What?
I don't.
What?
I don't know, bro.
So it was already alarming that Chris Paul's perfect game has a 33 game score, but Chris Paul having 22, 11, and 6 on 8 of 18, I guess 0 of 4 from 3 would bring it down, has a 23?
I'm looking at Giannis's first round so far, and I'm looking at a performance where Giannis had 32, 17, and 7, and has a game score of 26.8. Efficiency is there too, chat. I don't know. This far into the video, we spent, 3 to 4 minutes talking about game score. For this to be the stat you're relying crazy heavy to establish what's a great game and not, I don't know. I feel like it's crazy reliant on the stat, bro.
It's crazy reliant, and I know he showed the formula, but it's just seems like a lot of context gets ignored in this by literal the fact that it's just a metric. Like Chris Paul had a 21, I'm just on his page. Chris Paul had a 21, 14, and 10 game, 5 and 9, 4 or 5 from 3, 7 and 9 from the free throw line. That shit's a 28. So imagine the countless 28 game scores or whatever. Oh man, I don't know, gang. Like Curry doesn't have a 30 game score this season in the postseason, and Curry just had a 34-point, 4 assist, 3 rebound game on 12 of 17, 5 of 10 from 3. That's a 28 game score.
Even if we look at Kevin Durant's playoff run in 2021, there's a game in the first round where he had 26, 8 and 5, 4 blocks on 67, 100 splits, and it has a 26.5 game score. I can't, bro. I can't.
I already know what's gonna happen. For those that would argue, well, the point is it's a really high bar, bro. I guess if you're arguing Kevin Durant on his absolute best day can hit levels that a lot of players on their absolute best day can't hit, that therefore you can't hate on Kevin Durant or can't criticize Kevin Durant, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't hate on the player anyway. But I'd argue that's ridiculous, because I'd take a guy who with a 28 game score who consistently does that and wins championships all day, every day, versus a guy that can give me a 30-point game score every now and then.
The more I look into it, the more and more the proof becomes solid. But swinging back to Kevin Durant here, what is incredibly impressive about Kevin Durant is that 4 of his performances not only came in the NBA Finals, they came in NBA Finals wins. And 3 of his performances came in the 2017 NBA Finals specifically. That is very important. Charles Barkley can go out there and say that Kevin Durant never rode the bus. he can say that. But looking at the 2017 NBA Finals, I mean, come on.
But that doesn't prove anything wrong, to be honest with you. Showing Kevin Durant's crazy stats during the 2017 Finals against a bad defense, and again, a system where he's virtually unguardable because you can't double team him, that doesn't disprove anything that's anyone really said, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm wrong, Sage. Am I wrong?
Nah, you're not. And the crazy thing is, people who have been defending KD during these times have been crazy. All right, but y'all not using your eye test consistently then. All right, well, let's look at the eye test. You tell me a guy like Chris Paul, or for Kevin Durant's 1-to-1, Steph Curry didn't clearly dial back their game a bit to let Kevin Durant or their teammates flourish? You kidding me? Any person with competent eyes, 10-to-10 vision even, would be able to tell you that, yo, Curry's definitely taking a seat back, still getting the insane doubles, still getting the same insane full court pressures that he always got, just so Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson can go off. Because you knew Klay Thompson wasn't trying to sacrifice shit when he comes out there and literally says, I don't know who's taking less shots because it ain't me. And you got Kevin Durant coming over here, clearly signing to the team. He wants this shot. So when Curry dials it back, that's the reason people were like, well, yeah, he did it with Golden State. Whoop-de-doo. Like, he's a champion, 100%. He gets his ring. But to argue that, oh, well, he went off in 2017 Finals, you don't really go against his point, if anything. If anything, you help it. But you don't really go against his point. Right?
Remember, the Cavs had just beaten the Warriors in 2016, so to say that a win in the 2017 NBA Finals without Kevin Durant would have been a guarantee should already be considered an absurd statement. I mean, just the year before, the Warriors won 73 games and they still lost to the Cavs. Was this an upset? Definitely, but the point remains. Without Kevin Durant, Golden State was hardly guaranteed back-to-back NBA Finals wins in 2017 and 2018. And I mean, let's dig into the games here. And as we dig, I can admit, I feel the comments. I know it's hard to look through some KD to Warriors hate and to just look at the games that he played on the court. Trust me, guys, I'm a Bulls fan. Do you think I wanted Kevin Durant on the Warriors? I mean, they were just overpowered, but they were overpowered because of Kevin Durant. Just from a basketball perspective, as a basketball fan, there's nothing else really to say other than that. In the 2017,
I really don't want to seem like a Mike hater,
Kevin Durant was phenomenal. Phenomenal. In the 2017 Finals in particular, KD would finish with an average game score of 30.3 in 5 games. 30.3. In his entire NBA career, in the playoffs, John Stockton had a game score over 30 just 3 times. So the fact that KD averaged over a 30 game score for this entire Finals run is just incredible. KD would finish this NBA Finals series with averages of 35.2 points, 8.2 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 1.6 blocks, and 1 steal a night, giving Golden State the ultimate weapon they really needed, an actual head-to-head match for LeBron James. For real, let's just take a look at the stat comparison between the two in this series.
But that's the point, though. That's the point everyone's making. No one's making the case that the Warriors got worse with KD. I don't think that's the argument. I don't think that's the argument at all. We're talking about Kevin Durant's ability to lead a team. That's what we're talking about. I don't think bringing up a series where, again, he had all of this help against a bad defense where he can't get doubled is really countering that.
You know what, bro? I'll bite. 2017 Warriors could probably do it again anyway. I had to, for the sake of my own memory, look up the roster. This roster really was, they swapped Harrison Barnes for bro. They still had Iggy. Matt Barnes was playing at a level where he could get 20 minutes. They still had Zaza, who we know what he was about. But they still have Sean Livingston, the GOAT McCall, David Westbrook and all that. They had JaVale McGee, who's trying to turn his career around. This team was not some fodder-esque team with Kevin Durant on it. So in 2017, they could have done it. 2019, they literally made I don't know, man. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Year before these 2017 NBA Finals, Golden State lost. This season, with KD matching LeBron, they won in 5 games. I mean, I wonder what changed here. And again, KD would have 3 30 bombs in 4 Golden State Warriors Finals wins. For comparison, Steph, who himself comfortably fits into the elite list here with 14 games of over 30, only had 1 game over 30 in the 2017 NBA Finals. And looking at Steph's numbers compared to Kevin Durant's in those finals, I mean, really, there's just no contest here. We've got to give Kevin Durant his due. Yeah, we might not agree with his decision to join the Warriors, but when he was on the Warriors, he was awesome. And the
You
argument
got
can
it, bro.
certainly be made that this was Steph City and
That's
Steph's
nasty,
locker room
Chad.
or Draymond's locker room.
nasty.
But in terms of pure on-the-court production, it was Kevin Durant who was driving the bus this year in the 2017
Okay,
finals.
bro.
It's that simple. Then look at
you
the
wanna say
comparison
that,
between
cool.
KD and
You got
Steph
it.
next season in another finals win in 2018. And beyond just the stats on screen here, KD had a monster 30-plus game score performance in Game 3 to pick up a struggling Steph who shot 3 for 16. Then when KD was injured in the next year's finals, the heavily favored Golden State Warriors lost. This isn't a takeaway from Steph at all.
Mike.
Again,
my
I'ma be PC.
No, Sage, I don't know, bro. Stop pulling the PC card, bro. You're holding the channel back. Say it, bro. I know what you
Bro,
want to
that-
say. Stop holding back,
that's-
bro. Say it.
Hey, man, respectfully, man.
Oh, my God.
Nigga, that was dumb as hell. Nigga, that may have been the dumbest shit I've ever heard Mike say, bro. This the same guy with the infamous Lonzo, Steph Curry with a 40-inch vert. It's the same, but that title's funny, so that's cool. But nah, that you ain't mean that. You ain't mean that, man. Nah, the Curry drag thing was one thing. You know, the game score bit was one thing. But what you just said, you ain't mean that. In 2019, KD got hurt and
They lost.
they lost.
Nah.
Aye,
Alright, bro.
aye. You ain't mean that shit.
Love the boy, Steph. I'm just trying to say, Kevin Durant has been amazing. It is not at all a crazy statement to say that NBA history could be very, very different if KD did not go to Golden State. His numbers
No
are there
one-
right in front of us. Golden State might not
No
have
one would
won
argue
either
that.
of those titles. They might have won
No one's
one. They might
arguing
have won
that.
both. But what we
But the
do know
fucked
is
up
that
part is you
historically,
could. Like, what the?
only 18 players
This is
ever
downplay
have
the
had 10
Golden
or
State
more
crazy.
30-plus game score performances in their playoff careers with KD at 5th all time.
This
I
is
mean,
crazy reliance on game
this list
score.
says it all to me. To claim that Kevin Durant suddenly has not been elite in the playoffs before, to claim that Kevin Durant is not a bus driver, that is just too much. The Nets lost one series. Let's see what happens next season. I'm sure Kevin Durant is going to rebound.
Listen, Mike, I respect, your greatness when it comes to the NBA community. I understand what you've done in this community. But we're just talking about this video. We're just talking basketball here. And this is a very flawed video. This whole video was reliant way too much on game score. And everyone has been talking about KD's ability to lead a team outside of the Golden State Warriors. So truly bringing up what he did in Golden State doesn't really help your case. It really doesn't.
Look, man, Nah. nah. This is just a miss. Even PC Sage can't do this, man. That's crazy. That ain't it, bro. That's just downright cap. like stating these things are facts and then not being facts. Over reliance on a singular stat for majority of the video. I know he brought up other stats as well. Stats where I would clearly understand even, but the fact that like game score solos, all right, well, Kevin Durant's 5th, what do you truly think of Kevin Durant then in terms of your own game score ideology? And the ignorance towards context. Sure, KD had a top 5 game score, and let's say game score is the new PER, the new true shooting percentage, right? The fact that still wouldn't change the context of where he got those performances from. You said he got 3 in 1 final series with Golden State. Show me what Kevin Durant's game score was in OKC and in Brooklyn. You're missing the point. I think that's the worst part about it. It's like it's a bad argument to begin with. The foundation is bad, but then you're not even on said foundation. You're missing the point. The point is Kevin Durant, unfortunately, because nobody wants Kevin Durant to be a failure, has yet to show the ability to win a championship or consistently succeed as the clear-cut number 1. And I'm even giving him the whole Russ thing when people tried to say Russ is the 1A to 1. No. He was the number 1. We knew that. Y'all was just talking. Nah. This is nasty. This is nasty.
Yeah, all the conversations I've heard about Kevin Durant is, again, what Sage said, what he's done without Golden State, and 2, what he's ranked like right now in the NBA. So even bringing up stuff from 5 years ago doesn't make sense in that conversation. 4 years ago doesn't make sense in that conversation. It just doesn't. We're talking about Kevin Durant right now. And unfortunately, his Achilles injury that he suffered, you can clearly see that it has affected him. He is getting older, and players are just stepping up and getting better. I don't think the disrespect has gone too far. I don't even think it's disrespect. respect. It's just being real to what Kevin Durant is right now, setting the bar lower because it's unfair for Kevin Durant to have this such a high bar when in reality it shouldn't be that high, and just keeping it real. I don't think it's too far. So going to the title of this video, on the premise of the video, I don't think it's gotten too far. People are just setting the record straight about what Kevin Durant really is.
Yeah, this ain't even while I'm looking for these game scores. Pull up these 2 games, sort by game score in 2011, and pull up those 2 Memphis games. How much? This shit is crazy. Go to 2011, Souls. He has a 35 and 13 rebound game where he shoots 9 of 20, 1 of 6 from the field. But because the team wins by 10, maybe that was in the formula, and he had 5 turnovers. But because the team wins by 10, he has a 27.8 game score. But then you go to the 1st of May, he has a 33-point game, 11 rebounds on 52-60 splits. They lose. He has a 26 game score. I'm not gonna lie. Some not right with this stat. Some not right, because that does not make sense. Who would say in a game where someone shoots 9 of 20 versus 11 of 21, or 3 of 5 versus 1 of 6, all to drop off 2 points? I ain't gonna lie, he was better in the first one. 2 game score points up. That's nasty. That's nasty. But he had 4 in 2011. I'm gonna try to speed this up. I'd say I just checked. I failed math, dropped out. It's like, nah. But I'd say he had around, I want to say 11 to 14 30-point game scores without Golden State included. But isn't that like rivaling like Harden and shit earlier in the video? 11 to 14 is significantly worse than LeBron. Barely more than Giannis, mind you, it's more seasons. Significantly worse than Kawhi, because it's like 5 max. Literally tied with Wardelius, who sacrificed seasons of his career for Kevin Durant. I don't know what the other guys are, but that's the whole point. That even by your own game score logic, it's crazy. Less than Dwayne Wade. He has more than Anthony. He has more than the rest of the guys. Fair enough. But then that would be the point to Benjamin. We're not saying he's Anthony Davis as a 2. We're not saying he's Kyrie Irving, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson tier. He's clearly above those players. But the fact that when we look at the other clear-cut number 1s, we set the bar for Kevin Durant to be on that. And even by this game score logic, he is on the lower half of that at best. Unless I counted wrong. I counted wrong. Hey, chat flame me. But I don't know, man. That ain't looking right, bro.
If you want to see Kevin Durant talk about his experience on being on Super Teams, go ahead and check out this video right here, and we'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace out.
Peace.